Right now, you are sitting in a dense, invisible soup. Every coffee shop and office is saturated with radio frequencies carrying financial data and personal messages directly through the physical environment. We hand our bank passwords and private conversations over to this invisible infrastructure on faith. Technology companies represent these networks as encrypted, locked down, and safe from prying eyes. This disconnect between the marketing of a secure network and the physical reality of the airwaves is a recurring pattern. This vulnerability is a feature of the physics itself, first exposed when the very first invisible network was breached over a century ago. In the late 19th century, global communication was a physical industry. Undersea telegraph cables, controlled by massive monopolies, were the only way to move information between continents. This is Guglielmo Marconi. He challenged that monopoly with a proposal to move messages through the air without any physical connection at all. His technology was not yet a viable commercial product. To secure funding from skeptical investors and governments, Marconi became a visionary salesman. He campaigned in the press, promising that his syntonic, or tuned, system was entirely private. He claimed he could isolate frequencies so effectively that his messages were impossible to intercept. To prove his signals could travel thousands of miles, he built massive infrastructure. This photograph shows the antenna array at his Poldhu station in Cornwall, designed to blast signals across the Atlantic. Marconi promoted an image of absolute control over the electromagnetic spectrum, positioning his product as a finished, secure system before the hardware could guarantee it. This is the grand, classical facade of the Royal Institution in London. On June 4, 1903, the scientific elite gathered inside for Marconi's ultimate public demonstration. Standing on stage was physicist Ambrose Fleming, seen here. He was waiting to receive a secure 300-mile wireless transmission coming directly from Marconi in Cornwall. But before Marconi's message was scheduled to arrive, the receiver's brass projector began tapping rapidly on its own. The Morse code tapped out of the machine was not a scientific greeting. It spelled a single word, over and over: rats. The interference escalated into a mocking limerick about Marconi diddling the public prettily, followed by a string of Shakespearean insults directed at the stage. While the audience assumed it was a technical glitch, Fleming realized the truth. Marconi's claim of a private, secure system had been publicly dismantled. The culprit was a 39-year-old magician and rival inventor named Nevil Maskelyne. Maskelyne was acting as a corporate mercenary. The Eastern Telegraph Company had hired him to expose the flaws in wireless technology to protect their undersea cable business. Radio waves propagate in all directions. Anyone with an antenna in their path can listen in. Maskelyne set up a nearby transmitter, blasting a more powerful signal at the hall, hijacking the frequency and replacing Marconi's message. Maskelyne proved that signals traveling through a shared medium are inherently public. Engineering and marketing had officially collided. Ambrose Fleming was furious, writing a letter to the Times to condemn the hack as scientific hooliganism. Maskelyne publicly took credit, arguing he had proved that wireless messages were readable by anyone and that Marconi's claims of privacy were misleading. This embarrassment forced Marconi and the industry to change their approach. They could no longer ignore the vulnerability of the medium. Engineers shifted toward active defense. They began developing complex encryption methods, eventually leading to electromechanical cipher machines like this one, designed to scramble data before it ever entered the air. Maskelyne demonstrated that a signal broadcast into the air is a public signal, making defense a technical requirement rather than a marketing choice. The architecture of Marconi's 1903 system is the foundation for our modern Wi-Fi networks and the billions of devices on the Internet of Things. Modern networks still transmit through the same shared, accessible medium. The physical properties that make wireless data convenient are the same properties that make it accessible to an interloper. When communication moves through the air, security is not a default setting of the technology. It has to be built on top of it. Marconi's demonstration remains a reminder that for every new way we invent to connect, someone else will find a way to listen.